think the development of full artificial intelligence would spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
With the rockets or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. They were too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help me!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 6, 3, 2, 9, 7.
Media doesn't have your best interest in mind. The government is self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, Frank Pierce. And we would like to say hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Tuesday night. You know what that means. We have open topics tonight, and we're going to talk about a lot of things. We talk about aliens. We talk about conspiracy. We talk about technology and space news. We talk about all the things that they don't want us talking about. If you want regular, boring, run-of-the-mill garbage news, turn on Fox. Turn on CNN. Turn on any of that crap that they try and stuff down our throat. The narrative news. This is not narrative news. This is real news. These are things that happen in the world that don't necessarily fit a narrative. And do you know what you call that? News, not propaganda. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're talking about news and not propaganda. All right, so, well, maybe we'll talk about propaganda. Maybe, but not directly, more indirectly. Okay, so that's what we're doing tonight. So if you're new and this is your first stream, welcome. And what we're going to do tonight is it's open topics. It's what we like to call open mic night. So if you want to be part of the show, it is live, and you can join us by calling 702-957-1037. And you could click the Discord link. You can find both of those on troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And yeah, so if you want to steer the conversation, we will read chat as normal. But if you have to be on the show and you have to get your thoughts heard, give us a call. Join the Discord. Lots of good chat in the Discord, and that's how Frank and I communicate. And you can also get on the show that way via voice. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. We'll do shout-outs shortly, and that's the agenda tonight. That's, exciting, not exciting. I don't even know. It feels good to me. Sounds good to me. What do you think, Frank? Sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your co-host, Frank Pierce.
Hello, my name is Frank Pierce, and we are back again, hopefully for another interesting show. As my co-host there said, please do join the Discord. I was just marveling at the Discord here. We got links to asteroids skimming by Earth, ancient technology in Antarctica, we have UFO sightings. Oh, so many interesting things in here. You could join this Discord It'd blow your mind. You'd learn so many crazy stuff. Look at these images. I don't even want to look at some of them. They're so creepy. Tree monsters smoking cigarettes in the woods. What the heck is going on here? The world is a wide and amazing place, and this Discord is really helping us out. We can draw so many good links from here, so much good information. And that's what the media doesn't want you to know. The media wants you to think that, this is going on, that's going on. And nothing new is happening, nothing exciting is happening. But if you step out of the bounds a little bit, you dig a little bit deeper, you'll find some crazy stuff out there. And that's what this show is all about.
The crazy stuff. Definitely. Indeed. All right. We got shout outs. What's up? Aaron gets first. Thanks for showing up, Aaron. We got Chris, Carl, Timothy, Gregory. What's happening? Paul from Texas. What's happening? Aaron says, what's up, guys? Who saw that the president signed the directive for the new Space Force, making it the sixth military branch? I didn't see that. Is that official now? That would be amazing. Benjamin from Mars. What's happening? Thanks for showing up. Sherry. Hello, humans. Timothy, down the line. Let's see. Tammy, what's happening? Thanks for being here. Chris, Joshua, Sherry, I said Sherry already. Kelly, what's happening, Kelly? Joey, Joshua, Joe. Wow, we got lots of new faces in here. The other Joe, we got several Joes. Paul, and hold on. Got Sherry, got everybody. Hold on, so making sure we got everybody. Okay, if I missed you, John, the other John, and Rob, what's happening, guys? So if I did miss you or you show up late, just type your city in and we'll shout out from Las Vegas, because that's where we're streaming from, and from us to you. That's what's going on right now. All right, so we got news. There's shout outs. Where do you want to start, Frank? You want to start with I don't know, you pick. I don't know. I'm gonna drink beer.
We have to go to a positive story about NASA, which if you listen to the show, you'll know that we hate on NASA, probably to a terrible extent. But this story, this picture, it's amazing. So open up this astronomy picture of the day from NASA and look at this thing. There's so much to talk about when you see this in the sky. Holy moly. So what this is, it's a dragon in the sky. Well, not really. It's the aurora interacting with the magnetic field caused by a hole in the sun's corona, expelling these magnetic particles, creating this image in the sky. And look at that thing. I'm speechless. What do you think of this?
It looks like, I don't know, like a elementary school art project is what it looks like to me. This isn't real, is it? Is this a real actual? Oh, geez.
So this is a real image, and the reason I brought this up is, again, context is important. Context and perspective. So right now we're seeing this, we understand the science, we know what it is, and I'm not one for pareidolia. I'm not one for seeing images in the clouds oftentimes. But this, yeah, that's a dragon. Look, you see the head there, you see the wings coming out the side, it's stretching over the horizon. But think about what you would do if you saw this image 5,000 years ago. Probably the smartest thing you can do then is maybe build a fire and make some pottery. And you look up in the sky one day and you see this thing looking back at you. You know, this image, I think it would have been more historically accurate if the person in the very bottom there was on their knees praying to this thing in the sky. Because that's what you would have thought. You would have thought this is some kind of god, this is a monster. What the heck is this? Looking up in the sky and seeing this. So, you know, a lot of our myths, our legends, all this, some of the religious stuff, I think it comes from natural inspiration. We misinterpret things, we look at what we don't understand, and we see this now. Oh, this is...
I don't know. Okay, so is this not doctored for sure? Because it definitely gives me the vibe of being doctored somehow. That's just the Aurora Borealis here?
100% real. Look at the domain. Astronomy picture of the day from NASA. Yeah, this is real. This is the Aurora Borealis. They even say here in the bottom, it's a bit strange because, again, we've covered this before, but we're in a solar minimum, which means there's less solar activity, less sunspots, less emission of radiation from the sun. So it's kind of strange that we got this picture. And apparently, if you click on the very bottom, I didn't click on these links, but making multiple days of picturesque aurora activity. So there's more of these, apparently, if you click on those.
Okay. Oh, the little arrows sideways, or what am I clicking here?
At the very bottom in the text. Here, I'll give you the link here. But yeah, that's a real image. I don't know if you've ever seen them. I've never seen them quite so vibrant, but I can remember days as a kid going out. I live in the northern area, and I can remember seeing this stuff in the sky, but never organized into a picture like.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I think it looks good. The thing that made me suspicious, and start asking questions, is it looks almost too good, right? But again, I've never been up there myself. I've never been far enough north where this actually happens. If any of you live in Alaska or very, very far north, like we got some Canadians that listen that probably live far enough north to see this type of stuff, let us know. Does this look legitimate, or is there some kind of trickery going on here? Frank says it's real. I'm skeptical, only because, well, troubled minds and all. So here we go. Let's get Frank's link. Put this up. So yeah, looks good to me. I like the colors.
What would you think if you saw this kind of stuff 5,000 years ago? Because to me, again, I'd start believing in God. I'd be going out praying to the dragon in the sky every evening. This kind of stuff, when you don't understand what it is, it can change your life immediately.
Yeah, definitely. And, especially, so I guess there are times when this can sag down south quite a bit, right? So when you get what am I trying to say here? The magnetosphere, whatever, when it actually comes down south, this can happen in North America, right? Like down to maybe halfway through the United States type thing. I've never seen one myself, but I guess it can happen. So that would be kind of a large swath of indigenous peoples is what I'm trying to say. So a lot of people would have seen this. So maybe, like, how much does this kind of fit into their mythologies and these types of things, Is this a Thunderbird? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it easily could be. Again, seeing this and seeing that it took the shape of a dragon, I don't know, it kind of inspired me. It's amazing to look at. It's amazing to think how our ancestors would have interpreted this. And that's all there is to say about it.
All right, pretty good stuff. What's up, Mario from Port St. Whoa, I messed that up. Mario from Port St. Lucie, Florida. I guess that's Florida. And Joshua and Timothy and everybody else is showing up. Again, if I missed you, type it in where you're from, and we'll shout you out. There we go. There's the Aurora Borealis. If you guys have seen this, give us a call or type in chat. Let us know if you have pictures of this. Maybe you've taken actual pictures of an aurora that you've seen. And there we go. Here I will post a link in chat if you guys want to check this photograph out. Here it is. All right. Let's see. Can I do this? All right, there we go. Paste. There it is. All right. Let's see. I didn't check the other chat. We have people there? Oh crap. We got people in chat. What's up, Mikey Catcher 4? Oh, spam in the chat. That's amazing. Yeah. I think Twitch or no, that's Mixer. What's up, Mikey Catcher 4? There you go. There's your shout out. Yeah. All right. So nothing else to say about this. If you guys have seen something like this or whatever, have comments, you know what to do. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. The phone number is up and live, and you can also get on Discord. Go to troubleminds.org, and we're going to keep on trucking. We're going to keep talking about some other things, but if you want to come back to us at some point or have some photographs to share, no problem. We're here for you. Definitely. What's up, John? He says, cry, I'd go to battle. Oh, war cry, I'd go to battle. Well, read, Mike. Holy crap. Okay, yeah, all right.
Let's go to the second positive piece of news about NASA today. I think the world must be ending. This is rare for us. We can never say anything positive about NASA, but there's two news stories today where they've done a good thing. Open up mars.nasa.gov, the Insight Weather Report. We can check the weather on Mars right now. We can see what the temperature is. What do you say about that?
I think that's pretty sexy. I mean, look at that. Sol 81, February 17. It's 2 degrees Fahrenheit. And should we switch to Celsius for you international types out there? So 2 degrees Fahrenheit is the high and negative 138 is the low. This is pretty cool. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
any transparency is a good thing. I've always said that, even for stuff like WikiLeaks and all this stuff, any transparency is good. And so when NASA starts deciding to be more transparent, releasing more information, well, we have to congratulate them because this is good information to have. Look at this. A high of negative 17 Celsius, I put it on, a low of negative 95. So it's well below freezing. It never rises above freezing at all. Yeah, that's going to be hard to live there. Let me tell you. I don't think I've ever experienced minus 95 Celsius or minus 1 38 Fahrenheit. That's crazy low temperatures. But yeah, any transparency is a good thing. This is good. This will help people with planning their missions. This will, give some climatological data for people studying this stuff on Earth. This is good. I'm sure they must have had this kind of temperature sensing capabilities on these rovers they had there. I'm sure they must have, but hell, we're getting it now, so that's a good thing. So any transparency we celebrate, and this is more transparency.
Definitely. So this is the what is this? Insight. This is the thing that's taking the readings of the seismic readings and also apparently the weather on Mars. So now we have a weatherman on Mars. I think that's pretty cool. That is neat. So I wonder if this will stay updated and real time, and the maybe the forecast we can keep an eye on maybe and match it up to see how close they are. Because they're days out now. February. What the hell day is it today? It says the 17th. Today's the 19th. Okay, so they're days behind. So they're not actually forecasting; they're just reporting. All right. I guess one day when we actually get on Mars, they'll start reporting the weather on the news stations a few days ahead of time. But for right now, I guess we're gonna have to take what it was and not what it will be. Not that it matters, but yeah, pretty good stuff. I like it, and I think this is a particularly nice little graphic there. Looks pretty good. And looks like you can embed it, huh? Should we embed this on the website just for shits and giggles? That'd be pretty cool. Maybe we do that. Yeah, I like it. Transparency is a good thing. You were correct, 100%. We got a link here from Aaron. There it is. Oh, reported by CNN. There you go, Frank. Here's one for you. More CNN. We love CNN. CNN's our favorite, to be honest, guys.
The best source of news, the most trustworthy, CNN. Go there for your news, people.
The most trusted source in news, CNN. Yeah, all right. Here we go, Frank. This is one from Aaron in chat there about Trump and Space Force. So let's take a look at this and see what this looks like. Let's see what this looks like. Oh man, really? Really?
Yeah, I saw this. I did see this today. I didn't read too much into it, but it is interesting. Again, if you're paying attention to the news, not that CNN would ever tell you, but we've got Israel, Japan, China, India, even South Africa later on, all going to space. Everyone is going to space. We got Canadians, we got the US. I'm not sure about Mexico, but everyone is going to space. There is a space race going on right now. It'll be the biggest industry, my prediction, my Nostradamus-style prediction. Go check out that episode of Nostradamus. Is that there will be a space race. This will be the biggest sector for jobs in the next 20 years, developing satellites and rockets and doing all this kind of stuff. Moon billboards, yes. Space. So we need a space force. It's going to be lawless up there. It's going to be absolutely lawless up there. Imagine some guy, he's up there, he's got his pickaxe out and he's mining an asteroid and he's like, oh, I got a good find on this asteroid here. I got some gold. And then the Chinese fellow comes over and he's like, that's my gold. And then they're going to fight on the asteroid. Easily, I can imagine that. So we need some space police, space force. So this is good news.
It's definitely good news. I like it. So directive. There we go. And even better that CNN's reporting it. And that was today. So I guess it did happen. This is happening, guys. So I know we have some split opinions on the Space Force, and I happen to think it's a good thing. At least if we're wasting money, we may as well be wasting it on getting into space instead of who the hell else knows what we're wasting money on, just throwing it in the fire. Yep, Star Blazers, that too. Yeah, who knows? Tammy says the aliens don't want us in space. Maybe that's what the Space Force is for. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, should we watch this video? Let's watch this video. Let's see what this thing does. Anything interesting in the video? Action. Let's play this sucker. Okay. It doesn't want to play. So, good job, CNN.
I didn't see a video here myself, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. But yeah, think about it. Really think about it. There's so much damage you could do in space. Like, what if it's not like a space police force? What if it's more like a space wildland rescue force where, you're out hiking in the woods, you get trapped in a cave, someone's got to come and save you. Well, same thing here. Your ship blasts apart due to space debris, you're floating there, and someone's got to come and save you. So you can think endlessly. There's millions of reasons for this Space Force, and I'm glad we're doing it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, that's a good way to think of them. Like, imagine they're interstellar park rangers, right? That like kind of like the park service, except it's just off the planet. So if you end up out of your space pants or something, in a compromising situation, maybe they're the guys to call. And who are you going to call? Space Force, obviously. Save you from whatever predicament you might get yourself into once you get up there. Because think this is going to be ugly. When we finally get into space, how many accidents are going to happen? Like, there's no way that we get up there and like there's not catastrophic shit going down, right? Right, Frank? That shit's going to blow up.
Oh, like, it'll be endless, especially if there's a rush for resources, right? Think about that. Think about way back in the day, the gold rush. They talk about, people got rich off finding gold. People got rich off selling tools, but so many people died out in the woods, out in the bush, bears eating them, wildcats tearing them apart. People were just running out there like lemmings going after these resources. And the same thing has happened all throughout history is once people get a hint of, I can make some money here, they go for it. And so, yeah, sure, NASA's very paranoid. They want to be 100% safe. China, Japan, sure, they're designing the rockets with redundancies, with all this kind of stuff. Yes, I understand that. But what about another country like, I don't know, I don't want to denigrate anyone here, but what about India? India's like, let's get up there, let's get some gold. And they design their rocket for cost efficiency. They make it as cost efficient as possible. And yeah, people will die. Stuff will break. People will perish, and there will be accidents for sure once this resource rush starts.
Right, definitely. All right, I think we have the CNN video here. Is this the same one? No, it's not the same one. Oh boy, come on, people! Can't CNN just put the damn thing up on their damn CNN YouTube site? This is ridiculous.
I'll paraphrase the CNN video for you. Here's the paraphrasation of it. Trump signed the Space Force. We really wonder why he did that. It's probably a bad idea. Don't vote for Trump. The end.
The end. Okay, that's probably what it says. All right, fair enough. All right, so we can't get the video working. So if anybody can find this link on YouTube, here, I'll drop this in chat. We'd be happy to see the YouTube link, and we'll play it up on the screen here. But otherwise, it's not working. So there you go. There's the article itself. Let's see, let's check the other chat here. We got Mikey still spamming. What's up, Mikey? You're a Spamosaurus Rex. It's amazing. All right, here we go. Let's paste one for you too. Okay. Yeah. All right. So please find that if anybody wants to watch that video. We'll put it up. Kamikaze Satellites. It says CNN Politics. Must be really, really, really good. Really good. Yeah. Actually, speaking of politics, let's talk about this for just a sec. Even though it's probably you guys are gonna run screaming out of the room with your hair on fire, I think it's important. So this thing with Andy McCabe, you following that there, Frank? So he went on 60 Minutes and he admitted that him and a cabal of FBI agents and people that work in the Justice Department conspired to take down a sitting president, and he was just okay doing that. Now check this out, right? You might go, well, but it's Trump. He deserves it. Now, the terrible part is, and this is where I think we need a little bit of a reality check here. The next president won't be Trump. And if they can do it now, they can do it then. You understand? Like, this is the problem. We are so partisan that we just let this shit slide. And this is unbelievable. This is treason at worst. At best, it's sedition. And these people need to be in jail. What the hell is going on with this world? We just shrug our shoulders and put them on 60 Minutes. They admit crimes and we're fine with that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Anyway.
Well, this is happening. This is happening everywhere. If you think about it, there was that story about, what was it? Some Muslim lady who went over to fight with ISIS, and she, fought with ISIS, killed people, didn't like it, and now she says she wants to come back. And people are thinking to themselves, sure, let's let her back in. It's fine. She wants to repatriate. That's perfectly fine. Why? You are literally a traitor to the country. You should be brought back and hung from, a noose somewhere. Like, come on. And speaking of nooses, you got this Jussie Smollett guy who's just making stuff up, making the story up. I think it's pretty much proven now. He's made the entire thing up. People who doubted him originally were called conspiracy theorists. People who thought the FBI was going after the president called conspiracy theorists. And it's not a theory anymore. It's the truth. And this stuff just goes by. No one cares.
Exactly.
This is the new world we live in.
Yeah, no, see, Mario, this is the problem. Mario says, is this a Trump love fest? No, did you hear what I said? Did you listen to the words that I said? If they can do it now, whether you like this president or not, they will do it to the next one, and the one after that, and the one after that, and this will be never ending. Do you understand? If we allow crimes to just... Anyway, whatever. It's like, you see how people are so blinded?
Let me...
it's a Trump love fest.
Let me rephrase that a bit. Rephrase that. This is a media hate fest, if anything, because the media does not run the country. The media thinks it runs the country. Like, look at this. Look at these people putting this story up, thinking they're perfectly safe doing it, thinking it's perfectly fine. They're literally airing treason, and they're okay with it. So the media is the problem here. The media could have investigated this. Again, we talk about this a lot. Back in the day, 20, 30, 40 years ago, these news reporters, they had integrity. They would hit the streets. They would make phone calls. They would investigate things. They would find stuff out. That was the job, to give information to the public. Now what are they doing? Nothing. And they side with things. They have political factions all of their own. The media is the problem. Who cares about the two parties? Who cares about anything? It's the media that is the issue. If we, the voters, had the right information, the correct information, if someone had uncovered this 2, 3, 4 years ago, well, I think you'd be better informed on who to vote for and better informed on where the country's headed. But the media is the issue, not politics.
Right, of course. And that's my point. It's like, you have to be able to step away from the political angles and look at what the hell's actually going on. And if and this is the problem, no matter what your party affiliation or who you're sympathetic to or whatever, if you can't see that they're bringing this sucker down, like one tiny thing at a time, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, we're blinded by the division, and here they go. They're just throwing the country in the fire, and we're all fine with that, I guess. Anyway, so just wanted to bring that up, but obviously off topic. We do a little politics here and there, but not enough. So there we go. Oh no. Okay, we got some. Okay, anyway, let's move on from that. But I just wanted to mention it. Just pay attention to what the hell's going on out there, please. And there are things that we should all agree that it's terrible. That we should all agree on these things, because this is terrible. I don't care what president it is. It's terrible. Okay, so there we go. Trump, Space Force. No, we're not. Okay, so what's the next one? Let's get away from Trump. What do you want to talk about, Frank? What's on your mind, my man? How you feeling?
We've been teasing the audience long enough. It's time to talk about the aliens and the UFOs. So open up the independent.co.uk. Police share video of strange bright light shining in the sky during a thunderstorm. 30-second video. Let's play this. Again, this isn't some guy on YouTube trying to post this stuff, get clicks for himself. This isn't a news agency trying to, reinvigorate their site. This is the police posting information. So we've said this before. We've said it again. If police start faking stuff, well, we got a big problem. We got a really big problem if police are photoshopping UFOs. So let's watch this video.
All right, let's watch it. I'm trying to find it. Found it. I get them things that pop up and say, "Hey, you're not subscribed." I don't care. All right, here we go. I'm not subscribing. All right, let's play this sucker. Police share video of strange bright light shining in the sky. All right, action. Here we go. UFOs. Looks like a jellyfish or something. What is that? It's a satellite. What is that? That's a satellite. Come on. It's like a reflection of a satellite. Seriously?
That's like 10 feet off the ground. How is that a satellite?
Where? That thing on the left outside the window? What am I looking at?
How is that a satellite?
Is that 10 feet off the ground? Are you serious? All right, I'm going to go back. Play this again.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I looking at? All right, from the top. We're taking it from the top here. Okay, so police, read the headline one more time. Police share video of strange bright light shining in the sky. All right, UFOs. Here we go. Let's do UFOs. So this isn't through, no, this is through a window, obviously, but all right. It just appeared like a
we'll recap this. CCTV footage at a town's beach, like some beach in Australia. There was a thunderstorm. This footage was recorded. And the police were given this information because the guy was like the woman in this beach town sent this to the police, and they were like, what the heck is this? So this is in Australia, unearthly footage of a bright, strange light hovering in the sky. And yeah, it's self-explanatory. Come on, you can't tell me that's a satellite. That satellite would be 50 times the size of the moon if it was that big.
Well, right, but unless it's like super close and a reflection in the thing here, I don't know. Anyway, well, we got Trump love fest going on in the chat here. Yeah, okay, so this is live, guys. If you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. Go to troubleminds.org. You can find the phone number and the Discord link there. Get in here and talk to us. Tell us what you think about this or any of the topics aforementioned or anything else that might come up. Maybe you're reading our minds and you saw something that we're about to talk about. Or maybe you want to go completely off the rails. We're open to all that. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so what does this look like, Frank? It looks translucent to me. It looks like a jellyfish or, let's say, a satellite-shaped jellyfish floating in the sky. How about that? That's my take.
I can buy that, but especially I want to draw your attention to play the video from 12 seconds about to 18 seconds. Play that over again. So from 12, you see lightning strike. You see a lightning bolt coming from the sky, and it looks like it interacts with this thing and then it becomes visible. I don't know if you can see that in the video. So this thing, whatever it is invisible in the sky, intangible. You can't see it. It's not appearing in the camera. And then this lightning bolt comes out, interacts with it in some way. I don't know if you've caught that part yet. And you can suddenly see this thing, and it moves out of frame. So, again, UFO, giant angel, ghost, who knows what this thing is, but it appears that it was, or a trick of the camera, you know, a headlight flashing off something, who knows what it is. But if it is something bizarre, if it is something strange, the lightning bolt interacting with it and revealing it, I think, is the interesting part of this story, because you can clearly see when that happens, and it's strange. I don't know what that speaks to, if it's breaching, like it's shifting out of the fourth dimension, and we talked about that a few shows ago. If it has some kind of cloaking device on it and this lightning bolt interferes with it, I have no idea, but something bizarre is happening here, and there's no mundane explanation. The police haven't come forward with any, oh, it was the headlights off the rock and this and this and this. So who knows what this is, but that lightning bolt interaction to me is the key here.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to play this from the top. Watch on the left side here, guys. So there's nothing in the frame right now. What Frank's talking about is the lightning strikes, and it appears to hit this thing and actually make it materialize. That's what we're looking at here. So I'm going to play this one more time from the top. It's going to appear over here on the left side of the frame, and watch the lightning. There's nothing there until lightning apparently hits it, and then it's there it is. And then it kind of floats away. So here we go. Action. Catch that? Definitely looked like lightning brought it into whatever it was, right? And then it wanted to get out of there. Like, oh crap, our cover's blown. Yeah. And then it vanished again, huh? Looks like it disappeared after that. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool video. Okay, so all right, here we go.
So this is our mindset. When looking at these things, this is our mindset. We can't say it's a UFO. We can't say there's little green men flying this thing around the sky. That's silly. When we look at these UFO videos or these Bigfoot videos, we can notice certain features of what's going on. And I think that, you know, stop making these wild assumptions that aliens are invading, we're all going to die. That's silly. There's no proof of that. The video doesn't show that. But when we look at these UFO videos or these ghost videos or what have you, there's certain characteristics, certain features that come to mind, like that lightning bolt interaction. And I think given long enough, if we start looking at these things, documenting these things, these unique features that we see, maybe we'll come to some kind of truth. But the wild assumptions that we make, the world's going to end. That's silly and that's counterproductive. So that's my mindset when I look at these things anyway, these unique, distinct features that we can start getting data out of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kelly says it's a reflection. I kind of agree a little bit. Like, my first thought was it's a reflection. There's some kind of window going on. Because, right, you look at on the right side of the frame, Frank. There's some kind of reflection happening there, right? So what is that? I can't tell you. But if there's a reflection on the right side, a reflection, right, could be on the left side. Like, I can't really tell what the whole reflection business is going on behind it. But that's kind of what made me think it was that. Initially, right? It was some kind of, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, you're right. But I mean, we don't know what it is, of course, which is why we're talking about it. If we did, we'd just say, bam, UFOs, we met aliens. Here's the proof, guys, and come meet them. Their names, Archibald and Jimmy, and they're pretty cool. They're from, Sirius B or whatever. But we're not doing that. This is not that. And well, are those bad names, Frank? I like Archibald. We'll roll with that.
Yeah. And again, this could be a reflection. It could be a misinterpretation. But if I see a second video, if I see a third video where lightning is interacting with something and causing it to appear, well, then we have a trend. But of course, maybe it's fake. So it's just these things that we notice, we pay attention to. That's how we figure this stuff out, is pay attention to the details and stop making all these crazy assumptions.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So aliens, I think not at this point until we got some better evidence. Latasha, what's up? Says, were you guys able to look at them? I guess you had some UFO things. I didn't see them. So if you sent them to my email or I don't know, tell us how you sent them, because we do have some things collected that we're gonna do in a future show, but I didn't see anything from you. So anyway, yeah. Maybe Mario says maybe some kind of new life form. Who knows, right? Maybe it's all things are on the table, right? When you're looking at anomalous objects, all those things have got to be on the table. Is it what is this? Could this be some kind of secret military project? Of course, right? Some kind of cloaking device that was actually uncloaked by the lightning and then recloaks. That would make some sense, right? Some sense that's not aliens. So there's some options here. It could be the swamp gas or the ball lightning or some of those explanations. But, yeah, I don't know. I think we should have Good.
The easiest way to share information is to join the Discord, post it in there. We may not reply to everything, but we do definitely read it all. So join the Discord, post the information in there. That way everyone can see it, not just us. I think that's the best way to share information.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay. All right. Peter says, great fake. All right. Maybe it could be. It totally could be. We've seen lots of fakes. So yeah, again, we don't know one way or the other. And if you have expert analysis, we'd love to hear it. So it is open lines. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. So if you want to talk about this or anything else, or that we've touched on, or something we haven't yet, no problem. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing tonight. And yeah, Anthony says spirits. Maybe spirits? Maybe. It could be, right? It could be, that's what Frank said. Some kind of ghost, some kind of angel. What's going on with this? What's definitely happening with this stuff, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Speaking of ghosts in the sky and seeing weird things, going back to the very first story, that dragon image, if you click on the show chat in Discord, we've got an expert of our own analyzing that dragon image and telling us if it's real or not. Why don't you read that out?
Wait. What am I reading it? Why don't
you
read
Discord,
that out?
Okay, I can do that too. So Gregory posted, I looked at the dragon photo because it has an image attached. He has a plasticized version so you can see the dragon image better. But he says, I looked at the dragon photo and it appears to be real without any skewing or manipulation. It's perhaps enhanced under normal procedures to kind of bring the image out a little bit better, but it looks relatively real. I'll paraphrase. Anyway, the reason I wanted you to bring it up is because he kind of enhanced it even more so we can see the image even better.
Oh, I see. All right. So I'll pull it up. Let's see. Thank you, Gregory, again. Oh, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Here it is. All right. So Gregory, thank you for, he's like our on the spot Photoshop guy. He's been doing this a couple times for us now. So appreciate the input and the participation and the awesome work. Look at that. So I'm not sure what effect was done with this. Oh, plastic wrap. There it is. So plastic wrap, but yeah, it appears to be legitimate and even more frightening now. It looks like some kind of, a dragon now. Definitely. I see the dragon now. I was kind of, stretching to see it before, but I definitely see the head there now and like maybe the big wings, and it's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Wow. That's
something I want to bring up. That's a bit of an interesting little phenomenon. Is we are trained nowadays to look at our computers, our phones, our tablets, see images and see video, and assume those things are representative of reality. Like we look at pictures and we assume that the picture is the same as the reality. Look at a video and we assume the video is a representation of reality. Oftentimes it isn't. Oftentimes the things you see with your eyes are so much different than what comes out in the picture. There's depth to it. There's dimensionality to it that just doesn't translate through the screen. So when you're looking at these videos and these things, realize you are missing, in the very least, dimensions of detail. And so you see something like that and you're like, okay, great. Aurora Borealis, it looks amazing. But when you see it in the sky in three-dimensional glory, it'll look a lot different. It'll look a lot more impressive. Same thing with ghosts and UFOs and Bigfoot and all this kind of stuff. Is the screen, the computer, and again, I think we've kind of trained ourselves to think this, the screen, the computer does not reflect what you see with your eyes.
No, it never does. Never will. Actually, speaking of which, there's a one of them super moons going on right now, right? We got a frozen moon. What are they calling it? There's actually one of them big moons. We had a show when they did the super blood wolf whatever moon that was. What was that? Something like that, right? But there's one going on right now that's some sort of it's supposed to be the brightest super moon of 2019. So it's going to be the best one of the year. And when I was driving home, I was like, damn, that thing is huge. So it is definitely happening right now. So if you guys, again, go outside, look at things with your own eyes, right? Just like Frank said, things seen with your own eyes are a lot more impressive. And that moon on the way home tonight was impressive. And that's why I'm not going to show you a picture of it, because it just won't be that impressive on a little screen. Go outside, take us with you on the radio there, and check it out. Pretty good stuff. Did you get a chance to see the moon, Frank?
I did. It's amazing because it's quite late where I am right now, and the whole landscape is lit up with eerie moonlight. So it is amazing. I do encourage you to go take a look. I don't know. It's amazing to see these phenomena with your own eyes. Stop relying on the computer. Stop, looking for UFO videos. Go and look. Again, we've said this before. If you want to see ghosts, go to a graveyard. If you want to see UFOs, go outside and look at the sky. If you want to see Bigfoot, go walk around in the woods. You're never going to see these things sitting inside, staring at a screen. You're just going to see other people's impressions, and you can never really be sure that they're real.
Rajesh, yeah. Just reading some chat here, trying to get some good comments. Rajesh says, and you can tell the difference between this full moon and the next month's full moon. I'm not exactly sure what your point is. Yeah, I mean, some are larger than others.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. I looked at it probably a couple hours ago, and again, it comes in where it is over top of you, how the orbit interacts with the planet, all this kind of stuff, but it's definitely a little bit larger than usual. It's not phenomenal. It's not super close, but it's definitely brighter than it is on a usual basis.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's see. We got some chat going on back and forth. All right. So nothing I need to read. If I missed it, or you guys need to be on the show, you know what to do. Give us a call. Go to troubledminds.org. You can find the phone number and the Discord link. And yeah, we're talking about all things tonight, whatever we might have missed. What's up, Peter? Thanks for showing up. It's a great show tonight, guys. Did you guys catch tonight's episode of Project Blue Book? Nope, it's airing right now, as far as I'm aware. So I did not see it. So what'd you think? And yeah, the moon's beautiful in Canada tonight. Yay. What's up, Peter? Thanks for the nice comment. No, we didn't. And we will, though, I think, probably at some point. We've kind of turned off of Project Blue Book at this point because it's kind of gotten off the rails. But maybe we'll catch up when the season ends. Who knows? But yeah, I think it is airing right now, right? Or, at least Pacific time it is. So, yeah.
I believe so, yeah. Tuesdays in the evening, History Channel. It's a good, if you want an entertainment product, go watch it. But if you want a history product, stay away from it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Entertainment is what we all want, right? Okay, so let's see. Latasha says, just posted on your Facebook page because I couldn't find the page you were talking about. Okay, the page we're talking about is troubledminds.org. Just on the internet, troubledminds.org. Again, on the top right, there's the Discord link, and you can get in Discord and drop it there. But yeah, I'll pull it up in a sec. Okay. How you feeling, Frank? How you feeling, buddy?
That's that's an interesting point you just brought up, or kind of brought up through proxy there. Is I saw a post on Reddit Conspiracy. Sometimes there's good stuff there, sometimes there's bad stuff. But this one post there says, the internet has shrunk and no one noticed it happening. And think about that. What does that mean? Back in the day, we'd go to GeoCities, we'd go to all these personal web pages, we'd go to a bunch of different sources of information.
Angel Fire.
Angel Fire, yeah. Yeah, all these random sites, people's personal sites, all this kind of stuff. And the internet was large at that time because we had all these weird sites we could go to look stuff up, to figure stuff out. Nowadays, I think most people, they go to Twitter, they go to Facebook, they go to YouTube, and that's it. So the internet has shrunk. It has become smaller. And the innate assumption that we have to communicate everything through Facebook, it's ridiculous. As you just said, go to our website, click on that link, read some stuff there, join the Discord. The link's in the top right corner. But the internet really has shrunk. These big tech companies have kind of absorbed it all, put it all in discrete little packets, and censored the hell out of it. So keep that in mind. Is the internet still big? You can still go to these sites, but for some reason we just don't. So I encourage you to go to random websites and look up random things. You'll learn a lot doing that. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
GeoCities. Some of those sites are still up from back in the day. Pretty good stuff. Actually, that first NASA site kind of looked like an old GeoCities website. So I pulled it up and compare here. There you go. Check out that sexy banner there. Astronomy picture of the day, right? It's with the default text and no actual formatting. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. It looks like it should be on GeoCities, right? And the funny part is it's a .gov website. There's our tax money, guys. Thanks for putting up a nice website. At least the picture's nice, but holy crap. Come on, people. We'll spend our money better than that, for crying out loud. They can go to the moon, but they can't make a good website. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you think a good website is. For me, a good website is the information is front and center, and all the gimmicky formatting and crazy stuff is, who cares about that, really? You're reading this stuff for information, keep that in mind. And that NASA website, it's good information. Links at the bottom, picture, front and center. That's just how it should be. What do you think about that, though? The internet shrinking, these tech companies gobbling up all this unique content and applying their own filters over it, censoring the hell out of it, keeping it for themselves. What do you think about that? Is there any merit to that idea?
Yeah, of course. As these guys get bigger, they start swallowing things up. And remember, though, so unless you have a direct link, you're basically bound by the search engines. And so the search engines, of course, are run by algorithms, which is the whole brainwashing model we always talk about. And so, yeah, things get smaller because they get de-indexed, right? Like there's a ton of good information that's been flushed down the toilet because it's, quote, conspiracy, right? Conspiracy theory. How dare they? How dare they have an alternate take on the official story? And there's a lot of that that's gone now. You can't find it unless you want to, dig through 7 million Google hits to get to the bottom and finally find it, if it's even indexed at all. So, yeah, I agree with you 100%. And things are on Facebook, more centralized, Twitter. Yeah, I mean, Reddit, exactly. That's another one. I just makes me crazy a little bit. It's sad that it is shrinking. Imagine when there's like 4 websites, 4 sanctioned websites, and that's all we've got. That would be a little bit depressing, for sure. For sure. I'm going to try and pull these images up off the Facebook page here. But yeah. I'm sure you had a larger point there, Frank.
No, that's essentially it, is get off Facebook, get off YouTube, get off Reddit. Go to people's personal websites. There's tons of stuff out there. It'll boggle your mind to see all the crazy information, the good details, the stuff that people write about. Stop relying on these aggregators of information because, again, we've even had that in our chat here. People talking about the Vatican, well, message deleted. People talking about other stuff, message deleted. What the heck is that?
That's an old show. It's just, ignore that. I'm just trying to find these photographs. Yeah, I'll pull them up later. It's Facebook causes problems. Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm with you. I agree 100%. What are some of the big ones? So if you rewind, fast forward 100 years, what are going to be the big 3 or the big 4 websites, which are like 90% of the internet traffic? It's going to be Google for sure, the search engine, right? It's going to be YouTube. Actually, YouTube will probably take over Google, you think? And then it'll be like Amazon, if they're still around. And what else? What's another couple that would be huge and indispensable at this point?
CNN, your trusted source for news information.
The most trusted source in news, CNN. Yeah, no. No. Gregory says, I have some... Dear God. These guys are the dick jokes. These like every single show, there's like a cascade of dick jokes that just roll through the chat here. So sometimes I have to read them. Sometimes I have to just facepalm. Come on, guys, get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. I bring this up because, as Rajesh says, as an amateur astronomer, the media and their supermoon is just annoying as it gives false expectations to the general public, which goes to Frank's point about being cautious and skeptic about the things in the media. Oh, of course. Well, I'm saying that me physically going outside and looking up at the moon right now, it is definitely larger to my eye than most times of the year. Is that fair, right? I mean, you're right. You're totally right about that comment. And, we don't trust the media as much as anybody, but, I'm saying go out and look at it yourself and, kind of make your own decision there. Because it's pretty large tonight. Insert that into the dick jokes bin. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Russ says Facebook has become nothing but a big commercial for junk. Yeah, and fake news. They're like the number one fake news site at this point. Well, behind CNN, of course. But yeah, all right. So all right, what else, Frank? What are we talking about? I'm just talking in circles here, like a knucklehead scrolling through chat. Very uninteresting.
Okay, we had UFOs, we had space. Now we need the Yeti. We need Bigfoot, right? Cover off the trifecta. No ghost videos today. If you have any, send them in. But let's talk about the Yeti. Open up this recently declassified document from the CIA. It's in there. I put a little indicator of what it is. This is a telegraph, a Foreign Service dispatch from the American Embassy in India to another embassy in India. And what the heck is going on here? Regulations governing mountain climbing expeditions in Nepal relating to the Yeti. And there we go. Okay, so there's regulations. The CIA is communicating back and forth about Yeti and mountain climbing in Nepal, which is in India, I believe. So what are the three regulations? Well, the Indian currency will have to be paid to His Majesty's government of Nepal for a permit to carry out an expedition to search for the Yeti. So if you want to search for this thing, you got to pay it. In case the Yeti is traced, it can be photographed or caught alive, but it must not be killed or shot, except in an emergency arising out of self-defense. All photographs taken of the animal, the creature itself, must be surrendered to the government of Nepal. And finally, news reports and throwing light on the actual existence of this creature must be submitted to the government of Nepal as soon as they are available and must not in any way be given out to press or reporters for publicity. There you go. Recently declassified regulations governing the Yeti in Nepal. Is Nepal in Tibet or India? I can't remember.
Hell if I know. Somewhere over there. What's up, Reaper 2006? Thanks for showing up, man. I think he's on Twitch.
Oh, it's its own country, I believe. Okay, own country is Nepal. There you go. 3 regulations dealing with mountaineering and dealing with the Yeti in Nepal. What do you think about this? This is a real document. You can see the postmarks, the dates and everything. What do you think about this? They're taking this seriously.
Yeah, okay, so I have linked it if you guys want to check it out with your own eyeballs and on a full screen. I think this is pretty telling, right? Like every single time there's a government document and they're talking about anomalous things, you notice everything must be funneled through the government, right? They want to know first, and those are the rules, and they want to be able to spin it. They want to be able to talk about it. They want to be the ones to take credit, right? Kind of like Elon Musk going to Mars. NASA wants to take credit, right? The government somehow, some way wants to take credit for whatever accomplishments happen. And in this instance, right, nothing's changed. What's the date on this sucker? November 30th, 1959. Nothing's changed. Like they still, the transparency then was trash. It's still trash. And it's unbelievable that they expect us to believe anything that they put out. The data dumping, the fake news, the CNN, the Fox News, this crap. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so it must not be killed or shot at, except in an emergency. I think that's kind of nice. That's a little bit different for the government, right? They'd be like, hit it with a drone, bring us back the fur and the scraps. I don't know. That's pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
That reminds me, I don't know if you ever saw that South Park episode where their excuse to kill the wildlife is it's coming right at us. You know, they see a bunny rabbit, it's eating some grass. Oh, that's a good episode. Bunny rabbit's eating grass, it's doing nothing, and the guy who's hunting says, it's coming right at us, and he shoots it. You know, a deer's, you know, grazing in the field, it's coming right at us, you know, as an excuse for self-defense. So yeah, they even have that in here. It cannot be photographed or caught alive, but must be not be killed or shot at except in an emergency. So it's coming right at us. I'd like point number 3 here, though, and that speaks to what you're talking about. News and reports throwing light on the actual existence of the creature must be submitted to the government of Nepal as soon as they are available, and must not in any way be given out to the press or reporters for publicity without permission of the government. So yeah, they're trying to control this information from the onset. And this is, you have to agree to these things to get the permit to go out there and look for it, according to this document. So there you go, censorship in action.
And and of all things, this is the actual Yeti hunting permit. Permitted by the Foreign Dispatch to the American Embassy in Kathmandu for hunting the Yeti in Nepal. How about that? For the ambassador, Ernest H. Fisk, Counselor of Embassy. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. El, what's up? He says, I want to know what YouTube will with all this Nibiru and flat Earth crap online. I know there are ships I saw online, but the other stuff is ridiculous. Yeah, we're not flat earthers. It seems to be disinformation. You know what's funny about conspiracy theory in particular? We can dive into some of that. We got some articles about that. It's in the news again. Surprise, right? Conspiracy theory is in the news again. Again, it's like if you have to narrow it down and say what is the media's number one task, what would you say, Frank? Their number one. The mainstream media, what is their number one thing? What are they trying to do?
To control the narrative, to control what people think about, to set the standards for discussion. There's a good quote, I can't remember who it's from, but essentially it goes something like this, you know, if you want to control discussion, you don't censor it entirely. You just put it in a narrow band. You say all discussion has to happen in this one narrow band. Anything outside of it, ignore that. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. That's conspiracy theory. But control the discussion by shunting everything into this one narrow band. And that way you control what people think, you control how they interact, you control everything that happens, because the only sanctioned discussion can happen in that small, narrow range. And that's the media. It's setting in place that small, narrow range.
Exactly. Okay. So that's their first thing, is they want to control the conversation. Okay. And not only that, they want to control the parameters of said conversation. So anything that goes outside of those parameters that they set is what? Nothing short of dangerous to them, right? Because they spend all that time and all that money trying to convince you, trying to convince me, trying to convince all of us that these are the things. These are the most important things. And you do. You turn on Fox News and you watch and you see. What do you see? You see the same damn stories, like 5 stories, looped all damn day. There's 300 million people in this country. More than that. And you're telling me that only those 5 stories are newsworthy? 300 million people. That number is unfathomably large. Try and count to 300 million. I'll see you in the next lifetime. And you still won't be done. That number is so big, and we have 5 news stories looped. Anyway, so ridiculous. 1959, what was that? Project Mockingbird, the same thing. It's the same thing. They've been trying to control this for a very, very long time. It makes me feel like a fool for being excited about the news when I was a kid, watching NBC and Dan Rather and these guys, and wow, like it was just a 3-channel propaganda outfit. That was like a 100-channel propaganda outfit, but unbelievable. Peter in chat says, okay, here's another one. Have you guys been following the David Pilates 411 missing in national parks? Hey, you're in luck. You want to tell them about that, Frank? Yeah, Peter, we have.
Yeah, essentially, this guy, David Pilates, noticed something. That people were disappearing, missing, in national parks. In strange circumstances. So all the cases where, people were abducted, murdered, or killed, or they fell off a cliff, or all that, he threw those away. He's not looking at those. He's only looking at the cases where people just vanish. They bring in the dogs can't get a scent. They bring in the helicopters, infrared cameras, can't find anything. You know, people just up and disappear. And sometimes they reappear on top of mountains or way, way, way far away from where they were originally. And he said, we did an episode on this. You can go back and listen to it. Missing 411. But essentially, people are going missing. I think that's a good summary, and no one really knows why. I'm leaning towards interdimensional fairies, and that may seem a little strange to say, but if you listen to the episode, I think you'll understand.
Definitely. I wasn't expecting all that. Very nice, Frank. I was just going to say, hey, we did a show on that. Go back and check the show out. If you haven't seen it, we did do a show on the missing 411, so it is on SoundCloud and YouTube, and actually not YouTube. I think it got taken down off YouTube. But it's on, go to the website. It's on all the things. It's in all the places you'd expect to see it. So definitely. And yeah, thank you for that. All right. So looking for more here. Anything else on Yeti, Frank? Is there more to this topic?
No, that's about it. That's about it for the Yeti. Governments are taking it seriously. Again, we've seen this with the declassified documents about UFOs, all this kind of stuff. I don't think the government is laughing about this behind the scenes. They're actually looking into these things. They're actually taking them seriously. And again, this is just another piece of proof on the pile that the government of Nepal, anyway, it was taking it seriously. It was taking it seriously enough to look into it. Now, you brought up something here. I want to talk about that. You said we're not flat earthers, right? I want to refute that, actually. If you can come on here and convince me, and you're going to have a long road ahead of you to do this, but if you can come on here and convince me the earth is flat, give me good evidence, refute my counterpoints, I'll believe you. I will believe you. Okay? So we are open, at least I am. We're open to these ideas. You know, we're not setting the discussion like the media is. We're trying to learn alongside you guys. So again, if you can convince us the earth is flat, please do. I would love that.
Exactly. I just it's like it's a way for them to malign conspiracy theorists, right? You lump them all together, and that way you just go, hey, they've talked about Alex Jones. They must believe in Sandy Hook as a hoax, and those kids didn't really die. Frank and Mike said it. There you go, right? Or they're flat earthers. There you go. It's just it's a title, right? It's a smear. That's why I said that. But I mean, whatever. We're conspiracy theorists, right? We're fringe analysts, whatever you want to call us. But in any case, it scares the hell out of the mainstream media. Yeah, it's why we get no reach. It's why you guys know. Just go to YouTube and check it out. You'll see what I mean. There's some things going on in YouTube. Maybe we'll talk about that. What do you think, Frank? Is that a good segue?
Well, before we talk about that, I see Benjamin here in the Discord. What do you say we bring him in and talk to him?
All right, let's get Benjamin in and see what he's got to say. Let's do it.
Okay, bringing him in now. Hello, Benjamin, you're on the air.
What's going on, Frank?
Not too much, just looking at the news. How are you doing? How's stuff going with you?
It's going good other than the snow. I was kind of hoping to get a good look at the snow moon tonight, but unfortunately where I live at, it's kind of cloudy and stuff, so. But I noticed on y'all's first video about the anomaly, light anomaly. If you kind of look at it, it looks like it's a pyramid shape. It almost looks like it's decloaking when the lightning hit it. Maybe it was decloaking or trying not to decloak when the lightning hit it.
Yeah, that could be. It definitely, the lightning had something to do with it, didn't it? So let's go back to this video so you guys can see. Yeah, it definitely, it was not there, and then the lightning struck, and it was there. There we go. Okay, playing it, so go ahead, man. Go ahead. Definitely.
I got one other thing for y'all, too. Speaking on that note, I got a couple things. First of all, I don't know if you guys saw the video about the UN posting, had some emergency UN council meeting talking about the pyramid structure that was above the Pentagon. Did y'all ever see that video?
I don't think so. Was that the one we saw, Frank? Was that the one with the alien or whatever?
Yes, we did. Yeah, no, that was the one where there was this woman and she got up and gave a speech about this pyramid-shaped object. Now, we did look into that, and I think the consensus out there is that it is fake. it was kind of a good editing job of the footage. People found the original footage. The man standing beside her was making the same motions with his hands, doing the same kind of thing. So people are saying it's fake, but again, you can never really be sure because sometimes they'll say anything's fake to get rid of it. So we did see that. What do you think of that? Do you think it's real? Would they close off a UN session? Would they kind of hide it from the public?
Well, my personal take on it, with me being in that area when that happened, they had that whole interstate shut down. Then about 3 days later, that video, the night that happened, I was actually working in that area, and that whole area around the Pentagon was shut down. Nobody knows why it was shut down. And then 3 days after that, that video came out. See, I live about maybe 4.5 hours, maybe 5, depending on traffic, away from Washington, depending on which route you take. So I do know that night that supposedly happened. I'm just speculating here. I'm going to guess that the video itself is real, because there was a lot of talk about it. You know, there was quite a few people that was talking about it. But one thing I wanted to call in about, the main thing that I called in about was it has to do with a little bit about politics. Now, I know you guys, I'm kind of getting off key here, going back into the politic thing, but I know I brought it up once before. I believe I brought it up once before, but there are military tribunals going on within the government, but because it's under military law and it involves treason on the American citizens and treason involving other governments, they're keeping it out of the media, and they're not allowing the media to even talk about it.
Okay,
so,
I can buy that.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I can buy that for sure. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on where like I said, why the hell isn't this stuff happening? And I could see why they'd want to be hush-hush about it, because you don't want the rest of the guys to go underground or disappear, or, you know, have them Russia pick up their assets, or China, whoever it is, right? Like, I get that, why you'd want to be secretive about it. But if this just goes away, right? Let's say they root out the rat's nest and they get them all, right? Let's say that happens and we never know about it. How does that make us feel about the justice system? To us, without knowing about it, it seems like they got away with it, right?
Exactly.
So it's a problem. It's a problem to me. Back to the transparency, like, we got to know about this stuff. If the Justice Department and the military are actually doing their jobs, shouldn't we want to know? You know what I mean? Like, that's a good thing. That's good press for them. I'd cheer. I'd be like, hell yeah, get these clowns out of here. If they've deserved the electric chair, get him in the electric chair, right? I mean, that's the laws. This dual tier justice system is not flying. I speed down the freeway, they throw the book at me. we got these guys in the top level of the FBI getting away with murder, right? Like, almost murder, like political murder. It's ridiculous. It's pretty bad. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, it seems to me a good theory I've seen is there is two factions, two deep states, not just one deep state, two of them. The CIA and the media are on one side, and then the military and the Defense Intelligence Agency are on the other side. And they're fighting it out behind the scenes, and we never get to hear anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. There's speculation that's going around. I don't know how true this is, but there's speculation that's going around that the Clintons' assets have been, I guess, frozen, and the Obama's assets have been frozen too. Now, that's just speculation that's kind of floating around the net. And I've been kind of doing a little bit of other research, but I've kind of steered off on that. But I wanted to call in because I posted, there's a lot of chat on Discord. Now, the people that are not on Discord, they really should go on Discord, because, there's a lot of good stuff that's being posted on Discord. And me and a couple people on Discord have been sharing information and stuff like that. And the reason I posted about the owls in the owl picture in the snow is because my last visitation before I blacked out, I saw owls. And then I come to find out owls has a coalition with being abducted and visited and stuff like that. And when I actually came to make the story short, I found what looked like a weird mole on my side, and my son had some unusual burn marks on his shoulder. And I posted those pictures on Discord, and y'all free to share them with the world if you want to, that's fine. But the doctor, I wanted to let you guys know that the doctor said that that's not a mole that's on my side, because it's still there. Even when I push on it, it moves. And the burn that's on my son's shoulder, he claims that it's from an unknown source, because, like I said, it just popped up. It just happened to be there. But there's a coalition with owls and animals and stuff like that during visitations. I just want to make y'all aware of that and get y'all's thoughts on that if y'all actually seen those pictures that I posted.
Yeah, we read through everything. We didn't know if those were okay to share because some might be a little bit private, but yeah, we'll pull them up for sure if we can find them. And yeah, you posted one thing in here that made me think for a good 10 minutes, and that's that image of the comet. What I imagine everyone will do in the end of the world, and there's a comet coming down, it's going to destroy the entire world, and everyone just has their phones out taking pictures of it, sitting there like sheeple as the world ends. Like that image, I don't know if you can find that and pull that up. That's a great image. I think it captures the zeitgeist of what's going on right now. It's depressing, but that's a really good one you posted.
I did see that one.
Well, that's how I picture how everybody's going to be. We're living in an age now to where people are relying on technology. And I think instead of, everybody bending over and kissing their asses goodbye, I think what they're going to do is they're going to try and live stream the shit out of it. So that's just my theory on it. That's why I posted that.
That's pretty good. I got it up. It's up on screen. All right. Okay. Hey, Benjamin. So what we're going to do, like I said, I'll get you a spot set up on Discord there. So you can, if you want to collect your thoughts and put your story up, because this is the problem, right? You call in, you got updates on the story. And so you've kept us abreast. We know what's happening, but every time if somebody's new and just kind of tuning in for a minute, they don't know what's going on. It's out of context. So if you want, we'll put it up. Let me know. We'll get it done. And then we can refer them to that spot and kind of see your pictures in one spot and the things you want to type. And like I said, we'll lock it down. You're not going to get trolled, the rest of that stuff. So we will do that. So if you guys want to catch up on this story, he's had a lot of things happen to him and his family. So it's visitations and some Men in Black action, some all kinds of things going on. So that will be on Discord. So one more time, we keep telling you to join Discord because there's interesting things happening. That's what's happening. So we'll do that for you, man.
Well,
go ahead.
I got one thing that I want to talk to y'all about when y'all was on the subject about the Yetis. Here in the state that I live in, you don't need a permit to track them because basically the state that I live in is a Commonwealth state. So we live under what's called Commonwealth laws and rules that were set up prior to the federal government coming in and basically setting up rules in each state. We do have a lot of Yeti sightings in this state. The only thing that the Park Service requests is that you do not kill the Yeti. That's the only thing they request, because if you kill a Yeti, basically the way that it was put to me from a park ranger was you're basically killing an animal that could possibly be extinct, or if not an extinct animal. That's basically what was told to me from a park ranger.
Okay,
I just want to put that out there too.
All right. Fair enough, man. I agree. Let's not shoot first and ask questions later when we have an possibly extinct species on the line. Get a picture first or something. Yeah.
But hey, you guys should do a show on abductions one night. That way people would actually get a better feel of what people like me are going through, because I have connected with quite a few people that are on Discord that have the same type of experiences that I have and that I've had. And I think you guys really should do a show on abductions and visitations. That way people would get a better sense instead of saying, oh, he's full of shit this, he just likes hearing himself talk this. First of all, I ain't got nothing to gain by what I share. I'm not looking to gain anything. But I think you guys should really do a show on that one night, because that would actually open people up a lot more to the abduction scenario, you know. And like I said, I really haven't been posting that much on Discord the past week, because I've been still trying to get my thoughts together about everything that's been going on the past 2 or 3 weeks. But, you know, I think that if you guys did a show on abductions and visitations, I think that would actually help people better understand situations that people go through in those types of situations. And that way people can understand that they're not alone. But that's all I wanted to call in about.
Okay, appreciate that.
That's a really good idea, and we'll put that on the list. We did kind of cover the big famous cases, the Betty Barney Hill and the Fire in the Sky, but yeah, there's so many good information, good kind of characteristics of abductions, what you feel, what you go through, losing memory, losing time. Yeah, we'll have to do that. Maybe we'll do that for Sunday. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
but feel free to share those pictures, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not out to gain anything. I'm not out to gain any popularity or anything. I just want people to know, hey, here's the proof. I got doctor's notes. You know, the doctor even said he even saw it. He couldn't even understand why when he goes to touch it, it moves. And the weirdest part about that, Mike, is I can feel it move. It's like right there on my skin. It's like right in my skin. So now what they want to try and do is they want to try and do like this laser surgery to try and cut around it and maybe pull it out and see what it is. But with me and the stuff that's going on with insurance, you know, I'm kind of having a hard time trying to gather the money up to get it done. So what they did was they want to put me on this type of pain medicine. Now, I'm not going to say what this pain medicine is, but all I can say is it's a very addictive drug and it makes you hallucinate. So I'm not going to take it. But they want to basically cut it out, study it a little bit, send it off to a lab. But I also sent those pictures in to MUFON. Now check this out. Now listen to this. When I sent those pictures into MUFON, and I sent, you know, now taped video confession from both me, my son, and my wife, they still told me that wasn't enough sufficient evidence to open a case. And I'm like, whatever.
Well, I mean, we've kind of determined that they're working with the government, and they're also sort of a Ponzi scheme. So
yeah,
there's all that. There's all those things. So yeah, I wouldn't expect too much from MUFON at this point. Yeah, good stuff, man.
That's all I got, guys.
Okay.
About that thing there, you know, working in my little amateur wood shop late at night, I've gouged myself pretty good, you know, taking some chunks of skin out. I'm not advocating self-surgery, but it's not that hard to remove a little bit of skin and get rid of something, even if it goes a bit deep. So, yeah, I wouldn't be taking drugs. I wouldn't be taking medicine. If this thing's bothering you, well, there's ways to get rid of it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about that same thing because I am a certified first responder, but, you know, I really don't want to be digging on my side.
Oh, crap.
Oh, what happened?
I misclicked. Hold on.
And it's just me.
Okay, there we go.
Me trying to. It's just I think I'm gonna try and have it done by actual surgeon, Frank. That way I can have the actual proof, have it on film, have it sent off to an actual lab. That way they can test the material or whatnot. Because the doctor said that it showed characteristics of a mole, but it's not a mole. That's what's wigging the doctor out about it. He says it shows the characteristics of a mole, but it's not a mole, because if it was a mole, moles don't move when you, I mean, come on, common sense will tell you if you got a mole and you put your finger on it, it doesn't move. This moves. This physically moves. I mean, and I could feel it moving in my skin. So, but that's all I wanted to call in about, guys. You guys keep up the good fight, and you know, once again, you're having a good show, but I'm going to get off here.
Okay. Appreciate it. Man.
Thanks for the call.
Appreciate it. All right. There we go. All right. Moved out. All right. So, yeah, that was me. Sorry about the misclick. Yeah. crazy stuff, right? We've had a lot of people actually call in and have some pretty interesting things. I say crazy not in a negative way, just like wow, like these things happen to people. I mean, he isn't the only one. We had Kenny from Arizona. We've had several people call in and tell us they've had visitations and whatnot. So pretty nice. Go ahead, Frank.
I don't know though. That's kind of a wild story. A mole moving on the skin. If that happened to me, well, I'd be having an accident with my power drill. Let's put it that way. Digging that thing out because that's like something else living in your body. That's a terrifying story. Terrifying to think about. Who knows what that could be? And we wish that caller all the best.
Definitely. A couple shout outs. We got Trey and Ash. What's up? They were showing up, guys. Gregory says, chaos in the control room. No, just a misclick. So many buttons. All these buttons, right? Just don't hit the glowing red one that says, what's it say? Does it say, I don't know what it says. Just don't touch that one. All right, I'm not going to do it. Timothy says, I highly recommend the XM40 flamethrower. I don't know what that is. It sounds awesome, though. Sounds pretty badass. Oh, okay. eLink.tacticalshit.com. All right. Sounds good. Jay Carlos has been posting some good stuff. I'm going to read this because he says, what opened my mind, Ellis, was I was intrigued by UFOs, and that opened me to do independent searches. And the more you read and put the puzzle together, it makes sense. And yeah, I know there are different species of aliens, and our government is embedded with them. They run our planet. So yeah, I am reading you, Jay Carlos. Thank you for all the good comments. He's talking about the government. We shouldn't trust him. He's talking about, let's go back up. He's talking about vaccines and the whole bit, like just down the line. Big Pharma, the whole deal. Like he's kind of been talking about all this stuff, and I skipped a few comments, but they're definitely good. So, yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, okay. No, they didn't kill Kenny Gregory. All right, so what else, Frank? What are we looking at, buddy? We want to do something else? Oh, we were going to do
back into the
oh,
go ahead.
We were going to do the YouTube thing now. The New York Times, or whatever that was.
Let's save that for the end. Let's finish off I've got one more UFO link for the day. This might be a Muamua 2.0, so maybe that captures your interest here. Let's open UFO Sightings Daily. This is a great website. They're a little bit fast and loose with their facts, but let's open this website. Go to the very bottom. There's a little video there. Let's play that. Essentially, what this site is reporting is there's a comet that kind of circles the universe or our solar system once every few years. And, people have known about it for quite a while. This time around, though, this thing slowed down its rotation speed by 3 times when it was closest to the Earth. So again, this thing, we've known about it for quite a while. We've been looking at this for years and years, tracking its progress. But this time around, this thing slowed down its own rotation speed when it came close to Earth. So let's play that video and let's talk about this a bit more.
Yeah, which site is it again? I'm still trying to find it.
UFO Sightings Daily. Again, a great site to go to, but they are fast and loose with their facts. They do make a bunch of assumptions, but it's a good source of information.
Okay, so I see a bunch of, there we go. Videos at the bottom. That's what we're watching, right? All right. Let's full screen this sucker. Let's watch this video. Swift mission catches a comet slowdown. So let's go full screen. All right, action.
Every 5.4 years, Comet 41P swings around the Sun and puts on a show for observers on Earth. Between March and April 2017, as the comet made its closest approach to Earth, astronomers caught it doing something never before seen. 41P is an icy body from the Kuiper Belt, the cold storage zone beyond Neptune. Neptune's gravity first sent it hurtling toward the Sun, and Jupiter trapped it in its current orbit. As it nears the Sun, the comet's icy areas warm up and turn to gas. This forms jets that blast gas and dust into space. This material becomes an extended atmosphere around the comet and makes up its tail. To better understand how comets work, astronomers study how these jets change as a comet approaches and departs the inner solar system. From this, astronomers can measure how fast the comet rotates. When 41P approached in March 2017, astronomers found it to be rotating about once every 20 hours. But when NASA's Swift studied the comet in May, 41P's rotation period had more than doubled. This is the largest, most abrupt rotational change ever seen on a comet. Comet 41P is a small object, smaller than most of the so-called Jupiter family comets, and very active. Astronomers think a particularly strong active area produced jets that lined up in just the right way to suddenly put the brakes on the comet's spin. Extrapolating from the Swift measurements, 41P could have continued to slow in the following months, spinning less than once every 4 days by summer. This spin is too slow to keep the comet stable, so even small jets can set it wobbling like a top, or tumbling, and ultimately rotating around a different axis. Such changes affect which parts of the comet are exposed to sunlight. Perhaps this will drive new levels of activity that will further...
Got it. Shout out Dorothy from San Francisco. What's up? Thanks for showing up. Yeah. Okay. So this is a Oumuamua take two, right? This is this when it slows down. Okay. There's a predetermined slowdown based on the gravity of the sun. Okay. As it comes around, it orbits, it leaves. That's what the video is depicting. Same thing with Oumuamua. It actually accelerated past that slowdown amount, and that was the acceleration. So now we have something here that seems equally.
This isn't so much a slowdown as it is a slowing in the rotation speed. So the speed of the object was the same, essentially stopped rotating, stopped spinning around its own axis. And again, they attribute, you heard in the video, they think it's this, they think it's that. But let's dig into this a little bit more. So go here, go back to this UFO settings daily and go up. They're claiming that if you take this image and you manipulate it a bit, this thing has structures on it. So you see Comet 41P has structures. Looking at this, and you kind of see it. You see things sticking off. You see hard little edges and looks like a grid or some kind of a scaffolding projecting off this thing. And essentially what these guys are saying is that this is not a comet. This is an alien probe that passes all the moons and the planets in our solar system and scans them for advancements in life and technology. And this slowdown they noticed was apparently this thing focusing its sensory devices on our planet. That's what they claim here. So I don't know what to think. Again, it is a bit suspicious that for probably, again, 60 years, they've noticed the pattern of this thing. They've noticed how well it's rotating, how fast it's rotating. But this year, or last year in May, it slowed down. It stopped rotating. It focused on the planet. A little bit interesting, especially given the anomalous nature of the structures around it. What do you think of this?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Odd that it got zero press. Oumuamua got a ton of press compared to this. I haven't heard of this at all. And this was 2017, huh? I think that's curious, of course, when things get almost no press. I mean, we scan the news pretty well. I guess it was 2017 is before we started the show. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm loath to say aliens, right? Everything's aliens. I'm not so sure, but that doesn't mean that it's something anomalous. Because again, this is science, guys, right? Like science seems they want you to have this feeling of calm, right? Everybody settle down, calm down, because science has us covered. They know what these things are, right? These things are classified. They're being cataloged. They're being neatly categorized in these scientific ways until they don't, which, by the way, happens every single day that they don't know something else. So I'm not sure how calm and passive we should be about what science tells us they know, because there's a ton of this stuff. There's a ton of this stuff, and it literally comes out every single day. The things where science is like, wow, this didn't fit our computer models. Can you believe it? Well, yeah. The world isn't so simple as the 10 data points you put in a computer model. I'll say that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Frank? Interesting stuff?
Pretty interesting to me. What do you think of the structures on this thing when they enhance the image and you see what looks like scaffolding surrounding it? To me, that's particularly impressive. It looks like it's man-made. It looks like it's manipulated in some way. There's these things sticking off of it.
Yeah, again, I'm not so sure because they've done whatever work they've done on this thing, so it definitely looks suspicious. I'll give it that. Curiouser and curiouser, as Gregory says here. But I don't know. I mean, what if that's a? I don't know. I have a hard time buying it that it's actual things, structures on this thing. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I hate to tell everyone, but as my co-host alluded to, most science, most discoveries, most new technology, they're all serendipity. You know, it's not the work of someone in a lab spending hours and hours and figuring something out. It's just this random chance, this random thing that appears, and your mind is blown. You learn something new. I believe that's how it went for several discoveries. And this is how it goes. Is something, one day, something will just fly by and we'll look at it and we'll say, well, that changed the universe. And again, this observe, we need more observations on this. We need better images. We need the Space Force going out to investigate, because if there are structures or things poking off of this, well, we need to have a look. And that's what it comes down to with everything, is we need to have a closer look. We need to stop assuming that it's just a comet, don't worry about it. Maybe we don't know as much as we think we do. And maybe we should go out and investigate.
I think that's definitely for certain. Again, you know, what you see with your eyes definitely is quite a lot better than what you see on the computer screen. So, again, what's the snow moon? Snow moon. Go check out the snow moon. Definitely impressive tonight. Rajesh says, I accept their explanation about the internal gas jets being responsible for the slowdown in the rotation speed. Okay. Case closed. Thank you. Noel says, wow, can it be or not? I don't know. Again, if you know for certain, please call us and tell us. This is an open line. We take criticism. If you want to tell us we're knuckleheads, no problem. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. We have a call here. We'll take it in just a sec. But you guys can tell us what you think about this, or anything else we've talked about tonight, or anything else we haven't talked about tonight. Or again, if you want to just say hi or give us show feedback, that's what we're here for. Please do. Please do. So you can find that phone number on troubledminds.org, as well as the Discord link. So let's go to the phone call here, and we will see what happens. The randomness of unscreened phone calls. You're on Troubled Minds with Frank and Mike. Is this Angel? Angel from California?
Hello, am I live?
You're live. Angel from California. What's happening, my man? You are on the air.
What's up? Is it open topics today?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's impressive to hear about what you guys were talking about. I actually really liked it. Well, I actually catched like half of it. What were you guys talking about though? For the other half, I actually just listened in a few minutes ago. Yeah.
I want to fill them in there, Frank.
We're running the gambit tonight. You need a permit to hunt the Yeti in Nepal. We've got UFO videos, strange lightning interactions with UFO videos. We've got the government, doing some political stuff that you're free to weigh in on. We got tons of stuff. What's on your mind, though? What's capturing your interest on this particular day?
Oh, okay. So I had some information on the Yosemite Sam.
Okay, so the number station. So there is a number station, Cold War stuff, shortwave radio, where there's apparently a Yosemite Sam that broadcasts randomly. And to this point, as far as I'm aware, nobody knows exactly what the details of this thing is. Maybe Angel does. Fill us in, sir.
Apparently, there was a station that it was Yosemite Sam. Yeah, it was in New Mexico. And I don't know if you guys already find out, but I did find information. It was sort of on a website involving the agency that owned it. It was owned by the U.S. government, but it was also owned by a mobility assessment unit that's used for military training purposes.
Okay, sweet. Do you have the broadcast number for that? We could probably pull up some number stations and have a quick look, if you have the actual frequency.
I found a YouTube video.
Yes, I'm gonna try to send the DM and the information. It's that So when I found out about it, I found out that it was owned by, I believe, Matic. It was called Matic, and they had a facility in New Mexico, which was in Laguna, Mexico, or I don't know if it's in New Laguna. It's a city that is just on the west of Albuquerque, New Mexico, because I believe because there was a reference on the Yosemite Sam transmission. There was a reference to that something about that it was on the wrong turn to Albuquerque or something like that. And then I decided when I look it in, because there was a website that was about a steel contracting company. On those websites, from what I heard of an article, that they had a tab that was for Matic, which is weird. Why would a steel contracting website have a link to Matic, a military mobility assessment? That seems like a weird thing to see. And then the transmission got traced back. Turns out they actually did find the transmitter site. The problem was they were trying to take pictures, and they were approached by a bunch of trucks full of soldiers, I think, or I don't know if it was equipment, and they were told to please leave and please, you're on property. You need to leave, and that was it. So from what I could tell, that they pretty much will do and say no to what you're doing. But if you take pictures or even try to record, they will tell you to leave or don't do this. The good thing is the guys, I don't know if they're still finding transmissions, or I know that there were ham operators. Yeah, they were ham radio operators, and they still I don't really know if they're still doing any operations, though. They were ham operators and still don't know if they're doing anything. What I do know is that, yeah, it belonged to an Industries for steel. And there was a facility in New Mexico. It was somewhere on a reservation. There's like this facility, and I found it. And there's this building with these weird, I believe shortwave antennas. And there's also shortwave transmitters around it, powerful enough to give off a strong signal. Possibly that's where it's going for. And that's what's curious. The data bursts. They probably contain. That is weird, though. What do they contain in those data bursts? Do they contain, like, orders, operations, stuff to order? Maybe those trucks are carrying weapons or something like that. Could be possible. Or, nah, they already have that. You know, they already got for frequencies.
Okay, check this out, Angel. Just because some people are not really aware of what's going on with the number stations, we got Frank pulled up the Yosemite Sam transmission, so we're gonna play that, and we can follow up on this later. Like I said, we've got the number station website. We can tune into this and maybe look for it. But anything else before I let you go and play this video, just to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about?
Yeah, that I really love the stream, and you guys are amazing. I really love everything, your channel. I don't understand how you guys in your streaming live stream channel have only 6 subscribers. You need more. People need more, and I really do appreciate the feedback that you guys accept. You guys are amazing, and I really love it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a great day.
You too, man. You too. Have a good night. Thanks. Thanks for the call. That's Angel from California. All right, so we're going to play this. See, he was talking about number stations. A lot of people aren't aware of what's going on with this, so thank you, Frank, for pulling this link up. We're going to have a look here. We're going to see what the actual Yosemite Sam number station is all about. Got a quick YouTube video. Interesting stuff. I love this. Love the topic. And here we go. Action.
I'm gonna blow you up. I'm gonna blow you up. I'm gonna blow you up. I'm gonna blow you up.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a repeating burst there, and the issue is with this. What makes it so mysterious is like the video says here. It says that it's broadcasting from the New Mexico desert somewhere, but it's not predictable. So nobody's, as far as I'm aware, nobody's pinned down the times this thing happens. So the channel will be dead quiet for days at a time, and then suddenly it'll start doing this broadcast that we just heard. So that's what Angel was talking about. So if you guys are curious about this, just look into number stations. Pretty good stuff. He's very interested in this, and we will do a show at some point and maybe dial in some number stations. And yeah, unless you want to do that right now, Frank.
Yeah, this is a strange topic. I think we'll save that for another show or another time. But this one in particular, most number stations, and we've played them before, they're just numbers repeated over and over. But this is very bizarre because it's not numbers, it's Yosemite Sam shouting and some weird language in the background and a weird staticky sound. So I'm not sure what this can communicate. A number can communicate a code, these typical number stations, but this thing, who knows what this is? And another point about these things is you may think they're useless, so who cares? They're a relic of the Cold War. But these number stations, should there be a nuclear winter or a nuclear attack, should there be a EMP from the sun or any disastrous thing, this analog technology will survive. It's not going to be the internet that survives. It won't be your cell phones, your satellites, and stuff like that. It'll be analog radio. That's what we'll have. That's what we'll be left with. So it doesn't surprise me they're keeping this stuff going because it is a good backup, a good redundancy should stuff go bad.
Definitely. Jay Carlos has inspired me with the chat here, so I'm going to read one more comment from him. Oh, come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh, man. Come on. All right. This would have been so much better with, like, good music. All right, hold on. He's making some really good comments. I think we gotta do this. There we go. You know what, guys? We should be inspired by the Yellow Vest movement. And this should be worldwide. And the oppression. We should be living beautiful life and be intrigued and loving one another. But while we are distracted, fighting each other, they will keep paying. I'm not sure what that says. I agree. We are not alone. One would have to be really fluoride dumbed down to think we haven't explored our own galaxy. And there's billions of galaxies. Wait till the veil comes down. The truth will be scarier than fiction. All right, there's more there, but there's really good comments, man. I'm not making fun at all. You said some really good stuff, so it's just kind of long. But yeah, right? Like, this is the thing. This is definitely the thing. Definitely the vibe of the show, and appreciate the input. Appreciate the good comments. Definitely good stuff. What do you think about that, Frank? A little too dramatic?
A little touch over the top for me, but good information, good analysis. Yeah, that's the kind of thing we appreciate.
Definitely. All right, so all right, we got about how much time we got left? We got about 20 minutes left. How you feeling, Frank? I feel like I need a beer. I'm gonna walk away and get a beer. If you want to take over the show for 90 seconds or so.
Okay, let's talk for 90 seconds.
What article you want to?
I don't know. Why don't you pull up that? You're putting me on the spot here.
Let's
all right. Pull. Oh, okay. We got to pull this one up. Business Insider India. Watch a failed South African rocket launch. Okay, just play this video, and we'll see.
All right, we're gonna play this video. YouTube, pretty good stuff. Hey, 47 seconds. All right. Action. I'll be right back.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
So as you can see, everyone is getting into the space race. All the countries around the world. And this is from a bunch of students at South African University of KwaZulu-Natal. And they're trying to do research on rockets. And they put this thing up. It went up about 20 feet and then it landed back down and exploded. I thought this was pretty interesting. Again, it speaks to kind of the way the world's going. All these countries, all these universities, everyone is getting interested in getting to space. And it's kind of humorous, this thing. You expect a big blast and this thing to shoot off into space, but it just kind of fails on the launch pad. But again, this is the kind of thing. This is happening everywhere. This is why I predict, Nostradamus style, that there will be a big space race coming. You see this kind of stuff coming out every single day. And if South Africa, of all countries, is getting into space, well, we can see why Taiwan and China and Japan and India and Israel and everyone is doing it, because they want the resources. They want to get up there. And I don't know. It seems to me that these leaders of these countries, they may know something that we don't. They may know something is coming. They may know something they're not telling us, because it's only in the last couple of years that this giant space race has really kicked off. So what was the impetus for that happening? I'm not too sure. But
China on the dark side of the moon for sure. Tamron says, yay, South Africa, finally some stuff going on here. Sorry, I had to read that. Sorry, Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, it was happening a couple of years before that, even before China even decided to go there. So it seems to me that whatever it was, again, think about this. NASA was the pioneer, the leader 60 years ago. And then for 60 years, they did jack all. They did nothing. Well, you can claim they put rovers on Mars and all this kind of stuff, but they didn't do anything truly imaginative. But recently, last 2-3 years, whatever it is, whatever kicked this off, I don't know what it was, but it seems like all these countries around the world, they're accelerating around the same time. They must know something. That's my feeling. They know something, or they've found something. It could be a UFO, or as an asteroid filled with platinum. You know, one of those two things. But they seem to know something that we don't. Did you see this video? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I replayed it a couple times there. Again, I'm going to go back to, we got cut off. Tamron, who's from South Africa, says, yay, South Africa, finally some stuff going on. Unfortunately, it's not positive stuff. This rocket failed. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's kind of, I guess a little bit impressive how you see, when you see people fail, right? It's you're that much more impressed by the success of it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So it's like this is a pretty bad fail, but right, the next time will probably be better. The next time will be better. You know, things improve. But you look at where we're at now in the United States or China or Russia or some of these countries that have gone to the moon supposedly. It's impressive. It's an impressive thing. It says, this is no small feat. I defy you to go make a rocket in your backyard and launch it out of the atmosphere. Just don't tell them I told you to do it. But right, definitely harder than it looks.
It's on the list of things to do. You know, I got to pick up the groceries. I got to go chop some firewood. And I got to build my own rocket, put a satellite into orbit. I'm not even kidding. That's on the list.
I believe you. Tamron adds, everyone laughs at South Africa, but people forget that Elon Musk is a South African. First heart transplant, South Africa. Hey, we're not laughing at South Africa. This is just a unfortunate incident that happened in South Africa. You know, unfortunate things happen all over the place. Yeah, so no problem. Don't worry about
to me, it spoke. Yeah, no, we're definitely not laughing at South Africa. To me, it spoke to the larger point that these countries who have never had a presence in space are now getting into it. They're doing the research. And it was kind of a humorous way to introduce that topic, that for whatever reason, they're trying to go up there. I wish I knew why.
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, let's go to another country here. We got that Fox News report about Israel. Israel set to launch historic moon landing mission. So they would be the 4th country to land on the moon. So this is, again, space race. I think you're completely right, Frank. Like it seems to be the thing. Yeah, maybe some governments have decided that there's a gigantic military advantage to be had if you're the first one on the moon. Though, no shit, Sherlock, right? Like, unbelievable that it's been so dead since, you know, the Apollo missions. Like, why are we not there? But this is pretty exciting. So Israel is set to embark on a historic mission to land a spacecraft on the surface of the moon. The unmanned Bereshit spacecraft will launch from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. So the Bereshit, which is the Hebrew word for beginning, is expected to reach the moon on April 4th. So there we go. That would be country number 4. Pretty good stuff. It's happening. So South Africa, Israel, I'm sure there's more. India is working on it. So pretty soon we're going to have McDonald's on the moon, dude. Just like you said. You'll have your billboards yet. They're coming. You excited about that? I know you're excited about that.
For such a small country, Israel, such a tiny country, you know, so many issues they have to work through, so many other problems they could be solving. I don't want to get into this whole thing about the politics of Israel, but to me, if I were in charge of Israel, there's bigger problems that need to be solved before we go to the moon, right? If I'm an Israel politician.
Should I cut you off
right?
at the pass?
Let's just put it that anyone out there can agree with me, is there's larger problems that need to be solved before we can go to the moon. And yet they're doing it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. And they do have some help because this is launching from Cape Canaveral, which is in Florida, and they do have some help from a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket. So it's not totally on their own. But you know what was notable about this is at the bottom of the article here. This was actually set up to be a Google contest. Let's see, where was that? Is this in this article or was this from another one? So they Google put out a contest to, damn it, where is it? Am I seeing this wrong, Frank? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So the spacecraft was born out of a Google Lunar X Prize competition to land an unmanned probe on the moon. The $30 million competition was scrapped with no winner last year after the organizers said none of the 5 finalists would make the March 31st, 2018 deadline for a moon launch. So it looks like they just missed. But they did get some help from Elon Musk in that. But I think that's pretty cool that, you know, Google's at least putting some money to maybe get some other private action going up there. That would be pretty sweet. $30 million, eh? There you go, Frank. There's your challenge. $30 million. Let's wait for the next one. I'm your man. I can swing a hammer like a maniac. Let me know. Oh, geez.
Yeah. And anyway, I think this, again, like, you know, let's say your country's at war, you've got famine, you've got all this stuff going on, there's huge problems, and yet you're still devoting part of your budget to go to the moon. You know, that speaks to the importance of it. It speaks to a reason behind it. You're not doing it for fun. You're not doing it for a lark. You're going there for a reason, especially if you have so many other issues, so many other problems. And you know, what's there? Why? I wish, you know, someone's got to come out and tell us why this space race. Like, have you seen that in the media? Has anyone said, I've seen the negative. I've seen news stories saying there's no point to go to Mars. There's no point to go to the moon. This space is a waste of money. But I've yet to see someone come out with a good reason why almost every single country in the world is now launching towards the stars. I've yet to see a good reason explaining that phenomenon. And we'll keep an eye out for it. If you out there, you know a reason why everyone's being stimulated to do this, well, please tell us.
Definitely. We got a call we're going to take in just a sec here. But think about what you want to talk about next, Frank. Hey? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I think you got that New York Times article. Why don't you pull that up?
I do. Okay. We got 10 minutes or so. So let's take this call real quick. You're on Troubled Minds with Frank and Mike. Where are you calling from? What's your first name?
Hey, my name's Ash. I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Ash, what's happening? Scottsdale, Arizona. Lovely part of town. What's on your mind, my man?
Yeah. Hey, man. So I kind of wanted to tie into what you guys were just talking about with a lot of countries are kind of mobilizing for this race for space, right? And it seems like something that should have happened a long time ago, back in the 60s. But my theory is that there was an embargo. Basically, you know, extraterrestrials said, no, you can't. You guys can't come out in space. And that recently something's changed. Maybe that's the reason, and that it's okay now for us to go out into space. What do you guys think about that?
Actually, yeah, that's something I've heard in the past, that it's one of the reasons why supposedly we didn't go back to the moon, because we were told not to come back. So I wonder, yeah, so 50 years of silence, or, you know, 40 some years of silence of not really trying to get there. And then you may be right. There may be some connection with that. Definitely. What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, that's a good point. Is the technology isn't all that much better. Like, they're still using the same technology they did from the 50s and 60s. They've modernized it a bit, but it's not, there's no different rocket fuels. There's no real different rocket engines. So we should have made progress in those 60 years, but we didn't. So there must have been a reason to either prevent us from doing it, or there must be a reason that's suddenly come up to stimulate us to make us do it. So that's a good as theory as any, is that some aliens were coming by, mining the solar system. They said, "Hey, you stay out of here for a while," and now they've moved on, and we're free to explore. I don't know. That's a pretty good theory.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of Dr. David Jacobs?
Me, not off the top of my head. How about you, Frank?
I can't say I have.
Oh, I would really recommend looking into him. He's basically interviewed abductees for the past 30 years, and he's had so many interviews, he can kind of find the commonalities between people and basically put together a narrative of what's true and what isn't, right? So if you're crazy, you're talking about vampires, you'll be excluded, but there's very common things. And what he found was about the 60s, after when we started nuking ourselves, aliens started showing up, and this program was started. And it was basically a genetics program. People were being abducted, and over generations of people. So if you were abducted, your grandma was abducted, your daughter's going to be abducted, and they were very invested in bloodlines. And they basically were kind of creating like a new human, human 2.0. They call them hybrids, and they basically look like people, and they can do stuff with their minds. They can read your minds, all that kind of stuff. And Dr. David Jacobs has said recently that these hybrids have started moving into society. And so maybe I don't know, it's hard to put together like the narrative behind it, but maybe it's a threat in that we are trying to respond to it, or maybe this alien community is about to kind of invite us into the community or something like that. I don't know, but I would really take a look at that, because that's there's some really profound stuff there, and I think some truth to kind of the whole what's going on.
Okay, Dr. David Jacobs. I'm going to take note of that. We're gonna look into that in the future, and fantastic, absolutely. Anything?
Yeah, this seems like the way to go about it is a systematic approach. Like just like Missing 411 and David Paulides, he takes a systematic approach to these disappearances. If this guy's taking a systematic approach to abductions and looking at the commonalities between them, well, yeah, we'll definitely look into this guy. So thanks for the tip.
Definitely got him
No
pinned
problem.
in
Yeah.
our Discord.
He seems pretty neutral, and I've been doing a lot of research, and there's so much disinformation out there. It's hard to like figure out what the truth is, right? So this seems like one avenue where you can kind of get some truth, like abductees, and almost like what FBI investigators do. They like get people in different rooms and try and get their stories to match up. And what he talks about is really interesting, and it just seems like there's like a galactic federation. This sounds super cheesy, but it's basically like a group of extraterrestrials, and they're like, basically this is how they bring a species into the group. They kind of upgrade them and allow them to be able to interface with their stuff, their technology. And it just seems like that's kind of the program, and I think our governments are aware of it, and maybe we're moving into another phase or something. But I just wanted to talk about that because you guys had that abductee on, and the thing that he has in his body is very common. They basically need to tag him, and he was probably abducted along with his children or his grandparents or his parents. I bet if he asked his family, he'd find some commonalities.
He's actually, yeah. So he's called in several times and told us about it, and you're exactly dead on if you haven't heard that. He said he's had some issues with his children and his wife. So it's an entire family thing that's been happening with him. So curious that you didn't know that, but you somehow knew that. That's definitely his story. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research with Dr. David Jacobs, and I've looked at a lot of stuff, and it just seems the most sound thing out there. I really recommend looking into it. And it just once you start kind of delving into that, it just seems obvious kind of what's going on. But it's still like what the role the government has with it. I don't know. That stuff is really fuzzy because the government's really good at kind of covering their tracks and hiding things. And the aliens never really talk about their intention. They keep that very secret because they don't want people to find out what their plan is, whatever it is. It's kind of scary, but it could also be really good. So anyway, I thought I'd share that.
Appreciate that. Anything else, Frank, before he goes?
Nope, but we will definitely look into that. So, yeah, we'll put that on the show, an alien abduction. And this guy seems like he has the finger on the pulse of what's going on. So we'll look into that. Thanks again. Thanks for the call.
Thanks, Ash from Arizona. You're the best.
No problem.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. All right, there you go. See you guys. We don't bite. Ash from Arizona, great call. Thank you. Got a few minutes left if you want to get on the phone. About 5 minutes or so. 702-957-1037. So get on Discord. Go to troubleminds.org. You can find both the number and the Discord link there. Yeah, that's great call. Interesting stuff. Weird that he's not familiar with the story of our abductee there, our guy that got the visitations. We're not using his name at this point, but he did pick out some interesting details that are true, that are actually he's described to us. So pretty good stuff there, huh?
Yeah, and he brought up another good point that there is so much disinformation out there. It's almost impossible to find the good sources unless someone takes time and does the research and goes through it. Like, there's just so much. I don't want to talk negatively about people like Secure Team or, but they'll say anything. They'll say anything for a click. Whereas someone like this guy here, Dr. David Jacobs, seems like he's actually doing research, actually looking at the details, and you won't find this guy, because he's buried behind all that sensationalism, all that clickbait, all that nonsense. It's almost impossible to find. So I'm going to look into this guy. Looks like he's highly regarded. And why I didn't know about him until a minute ago, I have no idea. But we'll look into this for sure. And we'll do a show on it, maybe.
Definitely. Okay, Jay Carlos says, what's up? I had some great comments tonight. So this is my first time listening to you guys. I love people. You guys know what I'm talking about. And believe me, I want to leave an impact on helping our world. But I can't do it alone. I know there's more people like us. We just need to get us together and awake the masses and break this modern-day slavery. I will keep listening to you guys. Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Again, go to troubleminds.org. That's the official website. Join the Discord. The Discord is where the magic happens, right? So after we log off tonight and complete this show, the conversation continues over there with a lot of people that are here in the chat, a lot of people that listen. They contribute there. The discussion continues. They talk about different things. Post links, post photographs, pretty good stuff. So if you're into this, get on the Discord, man. Definitely, for sure. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for being a first-time listener. Thank you, Ash, for being a first-time caller. Good stuff. Good stuff all the way around. Oh, yeah, we got that one. Let's pull that one up. That one YouTube
Before we
article.
go there, in the Discord, we also have voice channels. And I notice in the Discord right now, we got two traders putting on a show of their own in parallel with ours in our own Discord. So I guess they're talking about the show as it goes on. Shout out to you guys. But they're in there talking. You can join the Discord. You can talk with other people if you feel like it, or just communicate with text. Yeah, let's pull up that New York Times article. That's pretty interesting.
Okay, here we go. We're going to the New York Times. We're ending this with, so we got a few minutes left on the show, and definitely democracy. Oh, no, that was the Washington Post. I'm sorry. I was about to say the New York Slimes. I was about to say the democracy dies in darkness, but that's the Washington Post. But okay, here we go. This is reported by the New York Times, and interestingly, you'll like this headline: YouTube unleashed a conspiracy theory boom. Can it be contained? What do you guys think? Can it be contained? Like, what number of algorithms is it going to take if they're trying to suppress the truth, right? And think about it this way. We've talked about this time and again. If it's complete nonsense, if it's utter nonsense, if you're like, hey, Bugs Bunny lives on Mars, do you think they'd ever censor that? Right? He lives there with Yosemite Sam, and they're watching us with telescopes. Do you think that would ever in a million years get censored? No. How come? Because it's not remotely true. It can't be true. It's impossible. They wouldn't censor that. They might take it down for copyright because they're dicks, but it would never actually get censored. So what does that tell you about conspiracy? And YouTube? I don't know, Frank. How'd you feel about this article?
Yeah, this is ridiculous. So they're listing conspiracies that are popular. iPhones secretly record their owners' every utterance. Well, we know that. We know that. We know that they're listening to us, recording to us, and they're selling that information to target ads at us. So that's proven. But they're saying here it's a conspiracy. Popular children's TV shows contain subliminal messages urging children to commit suicide. Well, I don't know about that, but there's certainly a lot of them that are intensely violent, intensely creepy. So I think that's worthy of discussion. But again, this is the whole point of this. They want to control the narrative, control the discussion, and they don't want us talking about this stuff. What's another one they list in here? Secret string of deadly wildfires in California was set on purpose. Again, who knows? They're telling us we can't talk about that. Essentially, that's the gist of this article, is these are popular conspiracy theories on YouTube, but we're not allowed to talk about them. And this is ridiculous. Again, let's go back to that Jussie Smollett guy, right? So this guy, actor on a popular television show, he's out there in Chicago, he gets attacked. What happened? Apparently a couple of people in MAGA hats came up to him, they put a noose around his neck, threw some bleach on him, and beat him up and said, "This is MAGA country."
Wait, let me do it. Let me do it. This is MAGA country! All right, there we go.
Yeah, the whole thing's fake. He hired those people. They were his friends. They worked on his show. There's a whole bunch of detail coming out now that the whole thing was fake. And if you were to question his story a week, you were labeled a conspiracy theorist. That was in the news. I'm sure you saw it. You were labeled a conspiracy theorist for questioning this guy's story. Well, a week later, what happens? Conspiracy theorists were right. The whole thing was made up. The whole thing was fake. It's almost ridiculous. And so when you look at things like this, again, let me read this from the article, that iPhones secretly record their owners' every utterance. That's sandbagging a little bit. I'm sure it's not recording everything, but if I say, "Hey, I need some dog food. I need some dog food." I don't have a dog, by the way, but if I keep saying, I need some dog food, I'm going to get some dog food ads popping up on my phone, my computer in no time. We know that. That's been tested. But for some reason, they don't want us to talk about it, don't want us to spread that information. So the whole thing here, this is just information control. It's kind of ridiculous. Like in the good old days of YouTube, it was amazing. You could learn anything. There was a bunch of wild theories. It was fun. Now it's like the mainstream media. They're trying to turn YouTube into the mainstream media by suppressing different voices, suppressing different opinions. I don't like the way this is going. This is thought control in real time.
Definitely. Okay, so now to say that your iPhones or your Androids or whatever phone you have is not listening is completely false. Completely false. Now check this out. I was dealing this week, it happened this week. I was dealing with somebody else professionally in my professional job, like people have. You say nice things to people and you shake people's hands and you do professional things. And when the interaction was over, I said, "Thank you very much." And that was my ending, right? And, we'll meet up again later, whatever. My phone says to me, "You're welcome." Like, my volume is turned all the way up. It's in my pocket. And saying thank you to this person prompted my phone somehow, some way to say you're welcome. Like I was thanking my phone for something. Go and sure, they're not listening all the time, right? So what the hell prompted that? It must have been like, my butt touched it in just the right way to tickle it awake so it heard me say thank you. No. There's this stuff that's going on. And again, right here in this article, that's one of the most outlandish things. Your phone is always listening to you. Are you kidding me? Really? That's a conspiracy theory? Really? Did that ever happen to you, Frank? Anything similar?
Yeah, it has. With a couple of different things. I won't mention what they are. I don't want more ads for them popping up because my phone's right beside me. But yes, it definitely has happened. But I encourage you, again, New York Times is supposed to be the standard of journalism. Go read through this. And when you're reading, post that link in there if you can. When you're reading through this, think about that. Think about the Jussie Smollett case. Think about those Covington kids. Conspiracy theories, right? Conspiracy theories just say the mainstream narrative was false. They were pushing it in one way, but it comes out weeks later that the conspiracy theorists were right. So keeping those two cases in mind, go read through this article. And this is blatant propaganda right in front of your face. This is journalists saying, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. Listen to what I have to tell you and ignore everything else. This is journalism nowadays. They can't get clicks. They can't sell papers. So what do? Do they start doing a better job to sell their papers? Do they start doing more research and providing more information to get people interested in the news again and selling newspapers? No. They just shut down alternate sources of news, so you have to buy their papers. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, standard, right? Par for the course. Anybody who thinks differently is aware of this, right? But think of the billions of people who it never crosses their mind that they're being brainwashed. One channel at a time, right? One push notification at a time. It never enters their mind because they don't think the world is that evil, right? They live in some kind of bubble where they think that all of their thoughts are their own. Everything they get from their phone or from CNN is in their best interest somehow. Yeah, no. Definitely no. There's a lot of people out there. Anyway, if you like this show, you know what to do. Maybe reach out to some of those people. Let them know we're here. Let them know this conversation happens. Let them know when it happens. When does it happen, Frank?
Happens Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. And yeah, please do. You saw people calling in. You saw people posting links. This is an open discussion. We'll talk about whatever the heck's going on. And you know, sorry, I got to go back to this article. It's driving me crazy. I have let's say a friend who has a kid, and they are unfailingly honest with their child. They never lie to their kid. They're always honest. They always tell the truth to their kid. And as a result, I can go to that kid and I can lie to them and they'll believe me, right? Because they've never been told a lie before. I don't know if you have I'm sure everyone has this similar thing, but this kid will believe anything because he's only ever been told the truth. Well, the same thing's going on here. If we're only ever told the truth, if we never have to stretch our brains and actually think about things, if we never click on a YouTube video that's obviously false and we debunk it, we think about it and we realize, yeah, that's crazy. Well, we're just going to be turned into people who believe everything we're told. And so I think that having these, as bad as it is, I think that having all these crazy YouTube videos, some of which are false, like some of the flat earth stuff, again, convince me otherwise. I'm open to it. But having this nonsense up there is actually a good thing. It trains our brains to think about this. It trains us to critically analyze information and come up with what could be the truth. Whereas if we just listen and believe, we'll listen and believe to everything. And that's what they want.
Which is what college and school is supposed to be for, right? School and college is supposed to teach us to think critically. Instead, it's turned into CNN brainwashville. It's terrible. It's terrible. Don't get us started on education. All right. Good, Frank.
It's almost as if we have to be exposed to lies to realize that lying is possible, right? The more lies we're told, well, the better we'll be able to realize the truth. And that's what we try to do here. We try to sort through this muck and the mire and the disinformation, the good stuff, and figure out what's really going on.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. And if you've been with us over the past weeks or months, we thank you for that. But you'll know we've talked about a lot of things. And me personally, I feel like we're not any closer to the truth because of all the propaganda, all the misinformation, all the data dumping from all the state parties. It's frustrating. And I think Frank has a fantastic point. If you have to sift through the lies, eventually you can come to your own truth. And in the end, I think that's what's probably most important. So don't hurt other people. Be comfortable with your own truth. But how you get there is thinking for yourself. Yeah, there you go. Public service announcement from Troubled Minds Radio, from us to you. So, all right, if you guys like the show, if you guys like this type of discussion, if you love this, please tell somebody. This doesn't grow without you. Please let other people know. Normies, as they call them. They'd probably benefit from this discussion. We're not always on point, but nobody is. We do our best. Go to troubledminds.org, the official website. Follow all of our socials there. You can find our podcasts, find YouTube, all the rest of it. We appreciate you guys listening. Anything else, Frank?
I don't know. Keep paying attention. That's the only way we know what's going on. Pay attention. Read stuff. Different sources. Good information. And keep listening. Because we need you to.
There you go. We need you. So we don't go insane. All right. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. I'm here with your co-host, the magnificent Frank Pierce. Thank you for listening. And from our Troubled Minds to yours, have a great night.